Are you a coach who's tired of drowning in complex marketing strategies? Welcome to Simple Client Attraction for Coaches, the bite-sized podcast that transforms how women coaches attract their ideal clients without the complicated systems or endless marketing tasks. I'm your host, Sandra Fidelis, and each episode I bring you straight talking conversations with successful coaches and industry experts who share their most effective and simple client attraction strategies. Subscribe now and discover how to fill your practice with dream clients in less time than it takes to enjoy your morning coffee. And today I have Madeline Brown, who is a coffee coach for coaches. She helps her clients go deeper and build a consistent message that speaks and attracts the right clients ready for their work. Through her one-on-one work and signature frameworks, she guides clients to share real moments that resonate, clear results, and content that naturally builds momentum towards a let's do it. And today, Madeline is going to be speaking to us about how depth and specificity sells. So welcome, Madeline.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Sandra.
Why is being specific in your content so important when it comes to attracting the right clients?
I almost don't know where to start. I guess the way that I really look at depth and specificity, it's kind of in like a twofold manner. So the first is more on like the more encompassing scale of depth and specificity is like your messaging as a whole. How, as a whole, are you kind of meeting your best fit clients like in the nuance of their lives, of their want, of what they're wanting, what they're currently experiencing, and how are you always finding that through line and that direct tie of how it relates to you, your work, and how you can help them. And then the more smaller, on the smaller scale, I would call it, is depth and specificity in each singular post. So how frequently are you really kind of dropping below the surface and really talking about what's really on their heart, what's really on their mind, what they are really desiring, and again, like finding that topic and sticking it through and really like, again, I love using the word nuance. It's probably one of my favorite words, but like getting into the nuance of all that topic in one post for them. And when you are doing that, like I said, like you are speaking what's on their heart, you are speaking what's on their mind. And I really don't know a better way to attract your best fit clients. And again, when you're always doing a really good job of tying it to your work and what it is that they want, it becomes really evident to them that you can help them. And again, those are always going to be your best fit clients.
Right. So what do you think are the biggest mistakes people make? And I think we're talking about social media here, right? Like posting
Yes.
on social media versus email marketing, or are you talking about both?
I feel like it could definitely apply to both, but a lot of what I really support my clients with is when it comes to sharing on social media. Um,
Hmm.
Coming back to your question, like the biggest I guess mistake. I don't know if I always call, I don't necessarily call things in contents mistakes. I think it's more of just like always learning, something to grow from, new things to apply, and knowing how to troubleshoot. But coming back to that, I feel like the biggest thing and the biggest thing that I'm always looking at my clients' copy for is speaking in what I call concepts, like broad concepts, big picture topics, which is not to say wrong. However, I think what's really beneficial is learning how to identify those big picture concepts, those big picture ideas, and break them down into like the actual patterns playing out in their clients' lives. So, what is the actual pattern playing out as it pertains to this topic? So, when I'm looking at content, when I'm consuming content on social media, that's really the biggest area where people are speaking in a majority of big picture concepts throughout their content. And like I said, not that that's bad. I think it's natural to speak in big picture concepts like live a life of freedom or you want to show up your empowered self. But after you talk about those, like don't be afraid to like dive in and give a few nuggets or a few sentences on what exactly showing up your most empowered self looks like. And something too that I kind of reflect, I'm like, okay, it's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. What does my client want that to look like for them? It's very random. It might even be boring, but what do they want their 2 p.m. on a Tuesday to look like in terms of showing up their empowered self?
That you're talking about doing the deeper work around messaging and like how does my ideal client feel? How can I describe, in depth exactly what the pain is, what their desire is. And that's the foundation work that you need to do before, you start putting copy out there. How do you feel about like having AI help write things since you are a copy coach?
I myself, I love that question because I often think about it with my own self frequently. I really feel like when it comes to AI, obviously, whatever people want to do, if that's a decision they can get behind, by all means, like do it. If it's going to help you get a post out for the day, do it. But at the end of the day, I really feel that we can feel through the content that we are consuming. And when coming back to the comment I made earlier of like speaking what's on your client's mind, what's on their heart, when we are consuming, I feel like a lot of AI content, it kind of has that, I guess, like soulless feel
Mhm.
to it. It might be so alluring and it might like just dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but it still lacks that deeper feeling and deeper resonance. And again, tying that back to your best fit clients, like I know when it comes to the people that I want to work with, they're moved by how they feel too, and they want that deeper feeling, that deeper resonance. And I feel like just so much of that is absent when it comes to using AI.
It's very interesting with, everything that's been going on in the last year, couple of years around AI, to hear different perspectives on like what coaches who deal with messaging and copy really think about it.
Mhm.
If someone's really like they're putting stuff out there, they're posting consistently, they're not getting traction though, like what's the one content tweak that you would suggest for them to make their content deeper, more soulful, as you would say?
hmm Again, I think it's a big reiteration of what I talked earlier about in terms of speaking big picture versus the actual patterns as they're playing out. That's really a huge component of creating content that is doing the pre-selling. Something too that I really reflect to clients, it's like if you want your best fit clients to come to you pre-sold, they are ready, they are eager, they know that you are the coach for them, then how is your content reflecting to that to them? And a lot of that is like, okay, first place that you can start, go watch your coaching calls with your clients. Go in Voxer. What type of conversations are being had? How are you coaching them in that one-to-one or even group capacity, whatever it is? And how can we, and like what questions are they asking? What's like a big problem that they're currently navigating? What are they celebrating? And how can we infiltrate more of that into your content? Because if they're happening in those spaces, your clients that want to, or your not clients that want to be your clients, they're probably also thinking and experiencing a lot of those same things. And when you can bring that into your content, again, pre-selling them on you as their mentor.
Excellent. So going back to real life, like what's happening in your ideal clients' lives.
Yes, absolutely.
I know that you have a freebie and a juicy freebie to share with us. Can you share what that is?
Yeah, I just love getting my eyes on people's content and I love being able to essentially break it down for them and like refine it and tweak it and show them in a one-to-one type capacity. So if they give me a follow on Instagram, they can just go ahead and DM me on Instagram and just say content audit.
We'll definitely have that Instagram handle so everyone can go there directly. Madeline, what is one nugget that you would share with everyone to wrap this all up?
Mm, that was something I was really reflecting on, and I feel like I reflect a lot on this in my own life and when I'm creating content, when I'm showing up. And I truly believe that the energy that we put into something and the energy that we bring to something is such a massive component to getting the results that they want. So if you are really wanting to create content that does the pre-selling for you, that has clients coming to you in your DMs, they're so eager to work with you, they know you're the mentor for them, you want content to feel fun. You want it to get you excited too, because if you want your audience to get excited, you want to have some excitement as you're creating it too. So as much as I'm all about strategy and creating really great content, always check in with your energy. Like, what energy am I coming into as I'm creating this post? And if it's a little bit lower than normal, that's okay. Like, do a little quick shift. If that's a wiggle, throwing on a quick tune. Yeah, just always checking in with yourself when it comes to showing up and putting your expertise and your creativity and your passions out there.
Thank you so much. We'll definitely have you back on.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Simple Client Attraction for Coaches. I hope today's bite-sized strategies have given you practical ideas you can implement right away in your coaching business. If you'd like to watch the video of our interview, then head on over to simpleclientattractionforcoaches.com. It's the name of the podcast.com. Did you find value in today's episode? If so, please share it with other coaches in your network who could benefit from these straightforward, bite-sized strategies. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. Until next time, remember, client attraction doesn't have to be complicated. Small, consistent actions can lead to remarkable results. I'll see you on our next episode with more simple strategies to help your coaching business thrive.